Starting from ES 2021, we can use a feature called Numeric Separators to format numbers in a way that is easier for us or for other developers to read and to understand. So let's say that we wanted to represent a really large number. For example, the diameter of our solar system. So let's say diameter, which is 287 billion and 460 million. And just from looking at this number here, it's really difficult to read and to understand it. So does this mean like 28 billion, or is it just 2 billion? Or really, what is this number? It's really hard to read like this. There's just too many zeros here, right? Now, to help with this, when we write a number this large in the normal English language, we usually use a thousand separator like the comma. So we would write this number like this, right? And then it becomes really easy to immediately see that this means 287 billion and 460 million. And now, fortunately, we can do the same thing in JavaScript as well, using the new numeric separators. So numeric separators are simply underscores that we can place anywhere that we want in our numbers, and which will make it then really easy to understand and to parse numbers this large. So using the underscore here as a thousand separator then makes it really easy to understand that this number here means in fact 287 billion. Now let's just log it to the console to see what JavaScript actually sees. And so here we see that in fact the engine basically ignores these underscores, so these numeric separators. It simply sees the number itself. And so what this means is that we can actually place the underscores, so the numeric separators, anywhere that we want. So let's do another example. Let's call this one price in cents, and I'm going to set it to 345_99. And so again, using the underscore here then makes it really obvious that this is actually a price in cents. So of course the number itself does again not contain the underscore, and so our price is indeed 35,599 cents. But by placing the underscore here, it makes it really obvious that we have first this value here and then this other value here in cents. And in fact, it's so obvious that we could even get rid of the cents part here in the variable name, right? So basically, we can use the underscore now to give meanings to certain parts of our numbers. So here we said that these are thousands, and here we said that these are cents. So let's try another one. Let's call this transfer fee. And here again, we place the underscore like this. And so here immediately it looks like it is $15, for example, and 0 cents. But if we did the same thing like this, so placing the underscore here, then it suddenly looks like 1,500, right? While in fact, it is the exact same number. So both of them are exactly 1500s, but just the underscore alone gives them different meanings. And so we can use that to our advantage whenever we write numbers in our JavaScript code. Now another variable here called pi. And this one is to show you some restrictions as to where we can place the underscore. So pi is 3.1415, and we can only place underscores between numbers. So we could place it here, and there would be no problem at all. Let's just log it. But actually the underscore doesn't make a lot of sense here. So let's remove it. And let's say we wanted to place it here. Well, here we get then an error because that is not allowed. It's also not allowed to place here, and also not at the beginning of a number or at the end. So all of these are illegal, and yeah, like this it works, but we can also not place 2 in a row. So the error message here is pretty explicit about that. Okay, and now just one final detail that we need to be aware of is that when we try to convert strings that contain underscores to a number, that will not work as expected. So let's try to use the number function that we learned before to convert a number. So of course with this it should work just fine, right? So we have 230,000 the number, or actually the string, and then here it converts to a number. However, if we place an underscore here, so if we wanted to have a numeric separator here, that would not work. So now it is not a number. So what that means is that you should really only use these numeric separators when you are writing down numbers like this. So really in the code. If you need to store a number in a string, for example in an API, or if you get a number as a string from an API, you should not use underscores in there, because then JavaScript will not be able to parse the number correctly out of that string. So it's not going to work as expected, and you will get this not a number that might then introduce bugs into your application. And the same is true with the parse int function. So here we do not get not a number, but we only get the 230. So only the part that is here in front of the underscore. Everything else will then be ignored.